Hello, my name is Sarah Weiss of Heck Yeah Pickleball, and I want to tell you why pickleball. Why pickleball? What is pickleball? I'm sure you're hearing about it. Slowly but surely, everybody is. And there's a reason. It is the fastest growing sport in North America. I didn't even know about it a year and a half ago. And all of a sudden, I found out about it, picked up a paddle, and was instantly addicted. And if you know anybody who plays pickleball, you probably hear them screaming about it from the top of their lungs. Why? Because it's so fun. It is so fun and so easy to get into, but also has the depth to challenge you to be a better pickleball player. So for me, I didn't play sports since middle school volleyball. And since finding out about pickleball again a year and a half ago, and I'm 34 years old, I have become so obsessed with this game that it has consumed me and has kind of shaped my whole destiny now. I am spending so much time playing the sport, meeting people, networking, building business with this sport because of how incredibly fun it is. And I am meeting people of all races, shapes, designs, cultures, and creeds, and it's uniting them. But I will say this, it is still like anything, and there is still high school drama. There is still competition, friendly and unfriendly, and there's still reasons why you can go home frustrated. So I have experienced all kinds of things and all of these things all in one day sometimes. But I want to share some stats with you. I'm going to pull it up on my phone just so you're aware of where the sport is going. Okay. Right now, it is predicted that by 2030, there will be 40 million people playing pickleball. This is not just some random guess. This is based on the rate at which it is growing in popularity right now across the globe. What else here? Average annual growth of players over the last 5 years is 11.5%. Whereas tennis grew by 4.2%, badminton is down by 3.7%, and ping pong is down by 1.2%. So the growth rate for pickleball is humongous, Jumanjous. It's amazing. So a lot of different types of people are coming into the scene really quickly. It's all of a sudden there's new players, new people, new rules, new evolution, new pickleball team owners, including people like Tom Brady, who just purchased a team, Kevin Durant. Many celebrities are jumping on the bandwagon of pickleball. And let's see here. 45.1% of pickleball players make over $100,000 in annual income, and 37.9% make between $25,000 and $74,000. The predicted value of the pickleball paddle market by 2028 is $256 million for these paddles. It was 152 million at the end of 2021. So things are moving very quickly. So that's almost a doubling in the span of 7 years, from 152 million to 256 million. That's predicted. Things can most likely move much faster than that. And the number of countries pickleball is currently played in is 70 countries. To qualify as an Olympic sport, it needs to be played in at least 75 countries. So look out, Olympics. Here comes pickleball. Now, I've only been playing the sport for a year and a half. And again, like I said, I'm consumed. I want to share a little bit about this journey because I, like a lot of people, did not expect to be a sponsored athlete, let alone an athlete by age 34. I never even considered that I could be into sports, let alone at this level. And over the past year and a half, I started going to tournaments, started winning gold medals for the first time in my life. I became a sponsored athlete only 2 months into my journey here. And I'll tell you, it's not because of skills. It's because of the opportunity I took to be a brand ambassador for the whole sport. And I'll tell you how it happened. So for those of you who are watching, you're like, I could never be a sponsored athlete. That's what I would have said. Here's how I did it. And again, it's not because of skills. So I started playing with a very cheap paddle, a little matrix paddle it was called. And I mean, it's basically plastic graphite and it's not high quality. But I started playing with it, and I'm like, okay, time to take this serious. Let's look at the brands out there and find a company that makes good paddles, and take this serious. So we found this company, me and my husband, called Prolite Sports. What we loved about it, well, we found a bunch of companies, but we found this company, and we loved, first of all, the logo. Super cool logo. Do I have anything with it right now? I don't have anything on me, but they have this ball and bolt, and you'll see that all over my YouTube. And I loved the logo. So we looked into the company. We found out that it was a family-owned company that has been around since 1984 and created some of the very first composite paddles. And their technology is incredible. So we went with it. We're like, okay, let's get some high quality, awesome paddles. So we went mid-range. We didn't spend all the money right off the bat. We went mid-range, and all of a sudden I instantly noticed the difference in these paddles compared to a cheap paddle. It was incredible. And we started to play. We started to play against some senior citizens. So there's a myth that this is only for senior citizens. Now, that maybe used to be the case, but it's a different game now. There are way younger, more athletic people getting into the sport. But we started against senior citizens that were mainly all retired. We found a court, and there was a bunch of them playing, and they invited us to play. So me and my husband, Adam, who are now both directors of Team Prolite, started playing against them, and we felt pretty confident in our skills. We're like, okay, we can play this game. We can beat up on them. And we decided to go look for a club. So we found a club and started playing at this club where there were younger players and people who gave us really good competition. In fact, they kicked our butts around the court. All of a sudden, our confidence level went down a little bit, but gave me a reason and my husband to get better. We wanted to actually enjoy the sport and challenge ourselves to get better and better, which we did. And we started going to tournaments. So after about a month and a half of learning about the sport, I went to my first tournament, played at the lowest division, and I won a gold medal. It was the coolest experience ever. Me and this lady who had never played in a tournament as well, we played our hearts out and we had a blast. And, I'm the type of person that, I try not to take things too serious. So if my partner got frustrated at all, I'd say, hey, Ola, and I just blow her a kiss. Mwah. And it would just kind of reset her. And we just had so much fun with it. And we met a lot of cool people who I now consider friends, and I meet them at every tournament. So it's almost like a reunion everywhere I go. And I posted a picture, and again, this is about how I got sponsored. So I posted a picture holding the Prolite paddle and my medal over top of it. And I posted it in this, the pickleball forum on Facebook. And I said, hey, whoever you are, Prolite, thanks for the awesome paddle. I won my first gold medal. And what was awesome was the director at the time, Marcus Luke, who's an incredible guy, reached out to me and he's like, we loved your post. We'd like to send you some swag. I'm like, what? So cool. I got sent some t-shirts and some caps. I even got some for my husband, and we repped it. So this is now, 2.5, 3 months into me even finding out what pickleball was, let alone playing. I made another post in this forum thanking Prolite for the swag. I was wearing the tank top and a hat, and I had the paddle. I was all, Prolite geared up. And I posted it saying, am I crazy for wanting to go pro in this sport, even though I've only been playing for 2.5, 3 months? And once again, thank you, Prolite. Loving the swag. And that was it. It was just something like that, and I'll say this, in between those posts, I was posting stuff in that group that was positive, asking questions. I asked for tips and advice on how to win my first tournament, all kinds of things. So I was basically representing the sport in the forum and meeting people, connecting with people, and started to post about it and tell my friends about it. And I reached out to Marcus Luke again, and I asked, I want to get a backup paddle. What do you recommend so that if this paddle breaks, I've got a backup at a tournament? And he said, we'd actually like you to call us. I'm like, okay. Thought I might have been in trouble, but I called them anyways. And they asked if I wanted to become sponsored, a sponsored athlete. And I love what they said. They said, we know you're not a pro. We know you're brand new in the sport, but we want to sponsor your journey. We love your attitude about the sport. We love that you're a great ambassador. And obviously you rep Prolite very well. So we'd like to sponsor you. That call blew my mind. It's like a highlight of my life. 33 years old, getting asked if I wanted to be a sponsored athlete in a sport I had just found out about. How cool is that? And this is what's so awesome about pickleball is it's still such a young sport. And it's been around since the 60s, okay, guys? It's been around since the 60s, but only now is it really gaining momentum as a sport other than just something for senior citizens to play. There is depth, there is challenge, there is a high level that pros play at, and the prize pots are getting bigger and bigger. The sponsorship deals are getting bigger and bigger. The companies that are showing up and taking part in the technology and stuff, there's tons of them. I got really, really lucky to be connected to Prolite. I'm really grateful for it. And since then, I now have, was it 3 or 4 other sponsors? Zalevo. I'm sponsored by a nutritional company. I'm sponsored by a fitness company called BAM Metrics. Bobby Aldridge's, his last name's Aldridge. So Bobby Aldridge's company deals in mobility and flexibility. So he sponsored me, sent me his mat and his blocks. And these special mats have certain measurements on it. And he's got a training regimen to increase your mobility and flexibility, especially if you're doing the same motions every day with a sport. What he does is he helps with overcompensating different areas of your body so that you're well balanced. Also sponsored by Tyrol Pickleball. So they create pickleball shoes. I am now sponsored by some of the top companies in North America or global because I show up. So I'm sharing this because anyone who's watching this, who's like, I want to try pickleball, or I play pickleball, and how cool would it be to find a company that supports me in this journey? If you take pickleball serious in a way that's like, I want to play at a high level, I want to represent the brand, I want to grow pickleball, this is how I did it. So I started by representing a brand without being asked. So I got my Prolite paddle and I shared my excitement about it. So I think a lot of people, they get, a brand or a company's equipment, and that's the end of the story. I made it well known that I was using their equipment, even though they didn't ask me to. And I shouted it from the rooftops. It earned me a gold medal. I'm really excited about it. And, they wanted to be part of my journey. So I went from there to then being deliberate when I spoke to companies. I reached out to Tyrol. I said, hey, I am about to hit the podium in nationals. I'd like to be repping some really good shoes. So I asked them to sponsor me, and I did the same with Zalevo. Zalevo, who has all these nutritional supplements from shakes to nootropics to energy drinks. I asked them if they'd be open to sponsoring me as an athlete, as their first sponsored athlete for the company. And they were open to it. So don't be afraid to go out there and ask, but also don't be afraid to try their product, use their product, represent their product before they even decide to sponsor you, and then ask them after that. So, when you post pictures and you tag them for no other reason than you just appreciate that you have their brand in your hand, then you have an opportunity to be sponsored or to become a brand ambassador, receive massive discounts. Again, this is a brand new sport. Brand new since the 60s, but it is now evolving so quickly that big players in athletics, athletes like Tom Brady and Kevin Durant, are buying pickleball teams. That's got to make you go, what's happening here? There's a lot of opportunity for the sport, for the sponsorships, for business. There's lots of things you can do. Something that I have done all my life is coach. I coach people. That's my profession. And I am certified in axiology. So I study and now assess people on their value systems that make up their mindset. And this was brand new to me. Mindset's not brand new, but mindset in sporting, in athletics, brand new. I hop on the court. I don't know how to think like a champion or like an athlete because I never did it before. And even if I had, even in my middle school experience, I wasn't doing it properly. I was doing it basically as a guess. I didn't know what to think, so I would guess what to think. I would try and tell myself all these things to either motivate myself or to snap out of frustration if I make a fault. Learning how to think like a champion, to act like a champion, to maintain my emotional wellness like a champion is the reason why I've gone from a brand new player to winning national championships in my first year of pickleball. I am an amateur national champion in Canada, not because of my skills, a little bit because of my skills, but mainly because of what's going on up here. I connected with a Stanley Cup winner champion with the New York Rangers. His name's Michael Hartman. Mike Hartman taught me about axiology and how it affects, and how knowing and understanding our value systems affects our mindset and our mental toughness, our mindfulness while we are playing sport. So I took this assessment, got this massive readout, and it taught me so much about myself that I started to dial in on what I had room to improve. And I bring that to the court every time I play, especially in tournaments. Especially in tournaments, the way I interact with my partners, the way I interact with my own self. I mean, who here hears that voice in their head all the time and goes, oh my God, calm down. Learning how to interact with yourself is huge, especially if you want to win championships. So I got this assessment, learned a little bit more about myself, and I said, hey, this is amazingly valuable. So I started to give the assessments to others. I got certified in it myself. And now I give these assessments and I watch people evolve after these assessments. It's incredible. There's one lady who took the assessment, and I think it was a day later, won a gold medal. I gave her my what do you call it? My meditation. I gave her my meditation on how to see yourself as a champion instead of just a person on a court, but to see yourself as a champion. When you see yourself as a champion, you act differently. You have a different energy. You operate differently. And it's in an elevated state because champions are elevated, right? So I just, I don't want to speak for half an hour about this, but I did want to share what is pickleball and what are some of the things you can do as a brand new pickleball player. I'm going to continue to do these videos and start to share some of the intricacies of how I've gone from brand new player to national champion in less than a year, and how I'm continuing my rise on my journey to go pro. And if you're up for listening to that, for following the journey and seeing how what I've experienced, my stories, my coaching, my life of coaching can help elevate you in this sport, if even you're just a weekend warrior and you just want to play the game better, I have tips, tricks, and advice on how you can be a better player right away. So get out there, go play some pickleball, get some sponsorships, meet some awesome people. And if I were you, I would get assessed. Get assessed by me or Mike. We're both incredible people. I am more humble than that. I'm not here to brag about myself, but I will tell you, I genuinely care about people. As a coach all my life, I've always wanted to elevate people, and I have a way that I can do that in pickleball. And to see the joy from everyone I meet playing this game, it lights my soul on fire. So if you're going to get assessed and you want to learn ways to play better, I think I'm a great person to learn from. And I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to hearing from you. I will put some links in the description and all my discount codes with all my sponsors so that you can also take advantage of that, get an edge on the court, get the best equipment, and have a freaking blast. The sport is amazing. Go have some fun. You deserve it. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to have some fun. Sarah Weiss from Heck Yeah Pickleball. Happy pickleballing, everyone, and much love. Mwah.